Hello, and welcome to a makeup session. So this is a makeup stream for missing during the week. So I had some technical problems during the week that I just mentioned on Twitter. So sorry if I was trying to do a let's see, an update or a story for YouTube to kind of update what was going on, but that didn't work out. So my plan was this week to return to the office and do another live stream. But my computer there was just totally frozen. It was like doing that thing where it doesn't start up past a motherboard level, just a warning beep. So I had to kind of pull things apart and clean them up and put them back in, just reseat everything. So I think it's just getting old, and it eventually did start up, but it took a while. So hopefully next week things will be happening from their usual space. But again, yeah, this week I'm still back home. So things are opening up, which is why I was going to try to do it from the office this week. Oh, sorry, this camera's getting the window too much. There we go. Sorry about that. So schools are starting again. Some universities are still locked down. Are still locked down, but things are getting a little bit back to normal. And like I said, there wasn't like an official enforcement of the lockdown, so a lot of companies were just having business as usual with some, required masks or checking temperatures. One of my friends said that his office makes them check their temperature, body temperature, when they go in to work every morning. So it's a little unpleasant, but yeah, that was some of the precautions that people took, and things were getting down. Infections were getting down to, just double digits, like teens, but there's been another small spike in the Kyushu area of like 30 people. So we'll see how this works, and we'll see if we're gonna lock down again or we're just gonna keep things going. But yeah, so it's still kind of indefinite, and I'm gonna have a pretty limited schedule. I'm gonna mostly work from home if I can, and then maybe just for like streaming and some other recording, I'll be in the city until things are more normal. Hey, K5. Yeah, I've built my own PCs in the past, and had to kind of deal with it. And the only thing, from everything I read, it was most likely the RAM or something wasn't. They said it wasn't seated correctly, but I don't think that was the case. It's kind of humid and miserable, and that office was closed. No air conditioning, nothing for a couple of months. So I'm wondering if it was just corrosion or something. And it's an older computer as well, so it just may be failing. But I pulled out. I just took all the components out, like removed the video card and cleaned the contacts and put everything back in. So just made sure that everything seated correctly and had good connection, and then it all came back. Hey, Joe. Yeah, sorry. I was so I was in the city, and the funny thing is, the previous night I had at home, I had a little bit of a problem. The table that I have everything set up here at home collapsed. So it's one of these foldable school tables, like classroom tables, kind of for temporary conference rooms and things that they have here in Japan. And I put casters on the wheels. So I changed the wheels, and so I'd been just moving it around to make it easier, because this is not a big room, and so to have that table be kind of portable. But I guess the strain from those casters wore away the hinge. There's a little pin that everything sits back behind to hold it, that holds the legs locked, and I guess moving it back and forth put strain on that pin, and the table folded up on me, and I had everything on this table, including a camera stand and jars of water from painting and everything, just completely collapsed. So that was the big reason I was going to go into the city. Yeah. But oh wow, no, I didn't. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's nasty. They're just gonna have to lose inventory. But clothing stores are particularly screwed because now they're like 2 months behind their seasons and stuff. That's the horrible thing about all this like Gap and fast fashion stuff is they have to move that stuff really quickly, because they just have to then clear it out. But I guess so. It's good. I guess it's merciful that it got moldy, so they can just pitch it or recycle it. I guess that's all they do is keep recycling it into other fabric uses. Yeah, so things were completely wrecked here at home. So this is a new table. So I'm on this new non-foldable steel table now, so I won't have that same problem again. I shouldn't have. I did like Chinese style. I built my whole little workspace on a weak, faulty foundation that was soon to collapse, and it eventually did. So I replaced everything here, and that was the motivation to this week go into the office, and then again the office and that computer isn't working either. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult, and the tablet that I use there is a little too big just to carry back home, like to take on the train or whatever. And the big steel arm that I mounted on is not easy to carry either. So I just decided I'd do like a makeup, try to catch up this week, so I can do a nice long stream. Hey Joe, yes, it's me. It is me. Yeah, so very weird schedule, but this was the most convenient day. Everything else this week was busy. Yeah, so Wednesday my daughter went back to school, but just a half day, and then she's going to do 3 days a week, half days. So we'll see how that goes for schools and for everything. I mean, nobody knows the best way to do things, so they're just kind of faking it. And I already saw some ridiculous video. So much garbage that comes out of the UK, but some ridiculous video where a guy's talking about it's kind of a conspiracy video about they have come up with a vaccine, but it modifies everyone's DNA and sterilizes women 100%, and like it's completely ridiculous that they're going to make people. We've been waiting for some kind of vaccine or something, and now there's going to be idiots online that are going to try to make people afraid of that. I mean, nothing. You can't. There is no such thing as 100% anything in medicine. In drug therapy or anything. So for them to even try to scare people by claiming that is ridiculous. So I don't know what that is, because that's where all the anti-vaxxer stuff and all that started in the UK. There's just like garbage research that isn't controlled, and I guess because they're not as litigious or whatever, as far as I know, in the UK, so they don't. People aren't worried about putting garbage out there as much. But so my wife said, "Do you think this is true?" There's no way. But to make people, especially people that are going to be like low income or people that are in the most vulnerable state, that would be the most likely, because of the lower amount of education, the most likely to believe that kind of nonsense, to have that stuff out there, it really sucks. So I was really depressed that already that's starting. I guess the 5G, I keep saying G5, the 5G thing wasn't bad enough. No, well, surprisingly, Japan is really resistant to things made in China. Even like their 100 yen, the dollar stores and stuff here, a lot of that stuff is made in Japan. A lot of its stuff is like proudly domestically made, and I'm sure it's made by immigrant workers at factories, at low pay factories, but they do want to do a lot of domestic manufacturing, and in fact, the Chinese have even caught on to that, because the Chinese tourists come here to buy the Japanese electronics like rice cookers and the bidet, toilet seats, and a lot of kind of very useful daily items. But those items, those same electronics, exist in China, manufactured at Chinese factories by Japanese companies. But the Chinese even know that even if it's a Japanese company manufacturing in China, the quality control and everything's going to be less. So the good one, the safest one, the highest quality is going to be the domestically produced Japanese ones. So they specifically come to Japan and buy things that are available in their country, just made in a different factory. They have that little trust in, in their own. The corruption and the quality control is so bad at factories that they don't trust their own domestic. But a lot in Japan, and people are also like Walmart kind of stealthed its way into Japan. Japan blocked Walmart for the longest time because it's all Chinese manufactured stuff, and they kind of stealthed in under another, like a Japanese company's name. So Seidu, kind of discount store, it's not in the department store, but kind of a discount store, is basically Chinese Walmart, because they have a lot of signs up, and if you flip the sign around, it's Chinese with the Walmart. It's in Chinese with the Walmart logo, and the all the employees wear that blue Walmart vest with the asterisk on it, so it's just basically Walmart. So it's here, but it's not very popular, and it's not. It doesn't put other shops out of business the same way that it does in the U.S. So you still have a lot of options. But Japanese people are really sensitive about that. So what I was rambling about is even in the grocery stores, there'll be some Chinese produce, and people just avoid it. I mean, it's literally half the price, sometimes like 20% of the price of the Japanese version, and people just avoid it because they know they can't trust it. So, and you have to, there's a couple of different ways. Sometimes they just use the kanji for China on the packaging, so you know where it's from. And other times they'll use weird abbreviations and stuff. They started doing that, I think, in America too. Instead of saying stuff was made in China, it's like PRC or whatever. They'll have like, People's Republic of China made in, they'll have an abbreviation that doesn't say China on it to make it one more step before people realize what's going on. But Japanese people are really sensitive to that, because I think they're pretty proud of the kind of quality that they've been able to maintain, and they're very support the home team. So you get a lot of people specifically buying Japanese, and there's a lot of tiny factories, I guess, because they get government backing. There's probably some, because you'll see basically a parking space for 2 cars is the size of a lot of rice fields here. So there'll be these little tiny rice fields in residential areas between houses, and people plant these every season, and they get funding, I guess, like sort of some of the same subsidies and things that American farmers get, but they kind of have protection in the market, and they know, because it's grown domestically in Japan, that they can sell it very easily. But there's very funny little fields of people growing things, for profit, for commercially. But they're just in the middle of like a residential area. You'll just see a group of houses, and there'll be one house missing, and it's a rice field. And they use this really tiny little machine, like machines for planting and harvesting and everything. These little teeny tiny, versions of the larger industrial machines. So it's pretty funny to see let's see the fields here. But people are very pro made in Japan. So even the places where you would expect it to all be Chinese stuff, there's still a lot of Japanese manufacturing. And they also know, I work with a woman who owns a machining shop. They mostly do extruding and things for plastics. So like seals for doors, automotive windshields and stuff. And she said that all of their technology, they could probably produce a lot more if they had factories in China, but they know that their technology would be immediately stolen, so they'd be immediately competing with themselves if they did a factory in China. And then you have the problem of not having the safety controls, and also having the Chinese government step in at any time and complain about the foreign ownership, or make a new rule, or demand a bribe or something. I wish America would get back to that too. It's so funny because that's the whole Trump kind of America first thing, it's kind of ruined that idea. Like now having pride in something American made or whatever is disgusting and alt-right and fascist or whatever, but everyone is in in the same country, in the same situation. And if you started supporting local manufacturing, even if you had to pay more, but Americans are terrible about that. Price is such a huge motivator. That's why Walmart wins. Like people will not go to small independent shops when they can go grocery shopping, buy a bunch of junk and toys and video games for their kids, and then have their oil changed or have new tires put on the car, all in the same place for a cheap price. They'll do that before they'll support multiple local businesses, and that really sucks. That's what the death of Main Street and all of that happened in the 90s. But yeah, I haven't drawn a thing. I've not been drawing at all. But yeah, that's really really discouraging. But they fight really hard, and they know that their government kind of has their back. Japan knows that the government has their back as far as supporting local production and manufacturing. So that's a good thing. That's one good thing. Yeah, but it would be great if America took to that same kind of thing. Alright, yeah, so try to get back into it here. It's been now more than a week since I've drawn anything. Alright. Yeah, it's funny. And I can't believe that just happened out of nowhere, the riots in Minnesota. I just saw that. Some of that on the news. It's just, yeah. It's miserable timing, and now that there's more and more video of things, I think the police departments need to, just for the sake, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they've been doing it long enough, and they're corrupt enough, and within the local government and everything. But that if they have body cam footage, you don't need to release it to the public, but they need to, I guess at least release it to the news media. And if they do have a specific, angle, or they are trying to justify something, get the proof of that out as fast as possible, so you have, less destruction and less, people's lives endangered, people being shot for, being in proximity to the protests, or just like, I guess the only people that were killed in the protests were people that were robbing a pawn shop. So, but it's yeah, it's crazy. And you got to wonder too. It's so funny how with protests and riots, there's such a lack of kind of centralized information, and no one really knows who all these people are. You just assume, it's all people from the neighborhood, it's all local people. But a lot of the times, it's organized outside agitators, and it's also undercover cops. Like, so you can't trust that the guy that's setting the building on fire isn't some communist anarchist, or isn't some undercover police that's, trying to give the cops an excuse to start using deadly force, or start, just arresting everybody. So that whole situation is so insane. And I'm sure there's cops that have infiltrated the agitator anarchist groups, and yeah, it's crazy. So you don't get a very complete story. But yeah, I was in LA during the LA riots, and it was just amazing. Like firefighters being shot off of ladders and stuff. It's like, then people just gave up. It's like, okay, we're not gonna put out these fires if we're gonna get shot at. So yeah, it was it's very crazy. But it's sad to see America in that situation again. Yeah, I just hope there's no political motivation to it. I mean, it's going to be used for political purposes, of course. I'm sure the victim of the police violence name is going to come up. I don't know. We're just worried about YouTube's filters and everything. I think his name will definitely come up during during the rest of the campaign. That sucks too. I can't imagine like being a family member and just seeing your dead loved one being used as like a political tool to try to manipulate the voter base. For a politician doing that, that's got to be really disgusting. Yeah, I don't know if that if people appreciate that attention, at least the acknowledgement, or if they can see, kind of the naked ambition and the kind of disgusting motivation of that. I don't know. So just play around. Yeah, there's been a lot more people walking past the house, so I think things are getting definitely more back to normal. It's almost I think it's kind of required 100% masks here. Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. Both the like with the military misbehaving in Japan, the American military misbehaving, and the police too. Yeah, they totally they're really protected by that system because they're punished by their own system, it's decided whether they're going to be punished or not by the police. So that's insanely frustrating. There was somebody was talking about this, and they had that quote, that saying that I think is very apt when they talk about liberal and conservative thinking in America. A conservative is a liberal that's been mugged, and a liberal is a conservative that's been arrested. So depending on which side, if you've been affected directly by street crime, you have a specific opinion. If you've been affected directly by the police, you have another opinion, because both situations suck. They're just both way out of control in the US. I hope I said that. I didn't say that backwards today, but it's a funny situation. And the basically the police, there's definitely crazy corruption in the police, and it's almost like it's unavoidable, because you hear like the that scandal from the 70s in Brooklyn, the corrupt officers. It's like you don't have a choice, and I think they've depicted this in like police dramas, movies like Training Day, and TV shows, where if the precinct, if the group that you're working with, the whole precinct is on the take, and you're a new hire, you have no choice, because you're a liability. If you don't take money, or you don't aren't involved in the corruption, then you're a liability, and people aren't going to back you up. They're going to let you go into more dangerous situations. They're going to let you get shot, because they know that you can testify against them, that you're that with internal affairs or whatever, you're a liability that can actually expose what they're doing. So it's so fucked up. But then I was going to say, the same thing that's frustrating about that is the police are just the foot soldiers, and the corruption happens higher up, like how they're manipulating numbers, crime numbers for specific effects, and how they're telling the police what they can and can't do is creating even more of that corruption. The weird quotas about arrests, and how how they're supposed to deal with certain situations in certain areas, and it's just so fucked up. But there's not as much attention. I mean, it's very easy, just like it's like kill the messenger kind of thing. Those are the guys in the front line that are actually committing the violence, that are killing people, but that corruption comes from much higher up. It's just a broken system that's very vulnerable to just very vulnerable to corruption. And yeah, if you look at any, like, so many countries have insanely corrupt police, and oh no, as soon as, let me check the where are we here? Sorry, where did oh, it's over here, sorry. Oh yeah, I've got it up here, so I'll keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's a great point. Oh, I guess they cut your the Trump thing. I guess maybe Trump and China triggered it. No, that's a really good point. That was that was the. It shows the kind of bizarro world, the weird, the alternate reality that we live in, where all of those fucking the "Make America Great Again" hats were made in China. I mean, that had to be a. If anybody understood the English that they were embroidering onto those hats in that Chinese factory, that had to be pretty funny for them. It's a pretty hollow slogan, a hollow motto. If they don't even have Americans sewing those hats, yeah, that's pretty fucking funny. But yeah, it's one of those impossible things to solve just because of the difficulty of policing, you know, especially as varied areas and population in America. It's really hard to solve unless you have, self-policing, unless communities have their own security, basically that has some mandate. But then there's going to be corruption there, and basically you're just going to get into this tribal thing with warlords that are going to be running things, and that local security is going to be insanely corrupt and manipulating things. So there's no way to win. It's like you either have this publicly funded group of people with deadly force, that have permitted the use of deadly force under, with certain kind of unknowable controls, or you just have local warlords and things. I guess it would be even more just mafia style if it was just local on local levels. It would just basically be the foot soldiers of local gangs would basically be your police, and that's I don't think that I think that would be just as bad with less accountability, just as corrupt with less accountability, because there would be no recourse if it was just a local mob. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a good answer to it, and because there is such a higher degree of violent crime and things in the U.S., it's got to be ridiculous to even think you're gonna be able to have any control and not have not only a lot of corruption but a lot of innocent people arrested for just proximity to something, or because someone needs to close a case, someone needs to find an answer to what happened. They're just gonna find somebody to put it on. I mean, that's the thing that's so insane, is that you can't have a police force that people are afraid to interact with because of how easily they can just be drug into a situation and be made a suspect, just because that's the easy answer, that's the least amount of paperwork, or the easy answer for an investigation. Yeah, and pre-DNA, it's insane. It's so insane how all those innocence projects that are getting people out of prison after they've been there just decades, because there wasn't the technology to get them out or keep them out. Yeah, I was watching that Epstein documentary that they just put on Netflix in Japan. I don't know, maybe it's been in the US forever, but that's a miserable story as well. And they try to focus, the documentary is focused on the victims more, so they interview the women a lot, and some of these women, this is their 15 minutes and they're gonna make the most of it. Just these really over the top, ridiculous things, and in each of the stories is so frustrating, because it's like, why were you not an adult and in that situation? But so they focus mostly on the victims, and they just kind of like, oh, and obviously he committed suicide, and that's the end of the story. They just make a little bit of a mention about how strange that was, that he just right before his day in court, he just manages to kill himself. I mean, somebody as weaselly and resourceful as that guy was, because they talked a little bit about his history and how he lied his way into Bear Stearns, and in his whole career of basically, he learned very early on how to blackmail, how to get things on people, get advantage on people, so that they couldn't say no to him and they owed him favors. And so they did a good job of portraying that. So then it doesn't make any sense that suddenly he kills himself, because he could have figured a way to get out of that. There could have been still manipulation, and so that makes it. I mean, and the kind of person that he was, that doesn't seem like he would have. Oh, this is my only option. Because yeah, as ridiculous as he was, I think in his manipulation of people, I still think to the very end he would have tried something. So obviously, non-working cameras, sleeping guards, and someone went into that cell and fixed a problem, and we can't even deal with that. Like, we can't even acknowledge that's just a crazy conspiracy. There's no way things like that happen. Yeah, and they did bring up a funny example of the British woman that was kind of his handler, or not his handler, but his procurer, the recruiter of young girls, Ghislaine. Her father was a big, like, publishing mogul, some kind of like newspaper. He was in print in Britain, and he was also a blackmailer. So he may have learned, or with his relationship with this woman, Epstein may have learned a lot about blackmail, about how it works, because her father did that. So maybe she learned a bit of that and passed a little bit of that on, or at least worked together with Epstein, because he had managed to do it pretty well in the U.S. And but that woman's father was found just dead in the ocean, mysteriously. So that stuff catches up with you. Eventually, if you're going to live that way, you're eventually going to have something on somebody that's a little bit too powerful to blackmail. And that was what had to have happened, because nothing else makes any sense when you look at that whole situation. He wasn't out of options, and he wasn't that desperate at that moment. There was still a lot to be done. But as far as the people, whose names and information he had, and the details he had, because they busted into his some safe or something in his residence that had a lot of photographic documentation of things, what they're calling child porn, but it had there were a lot of photos. So that could have been stuff that nobody, that was never going to see the light of day. Crazy. I gotta figure out a way to, maybe just close this. Yeah, I can't see the chat very well on my screen. Okay, I said to close this. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with some of the recent shootings, because we've got so much good video recently. I can't believe you hear the cops panicking and freaking out and discharging their weapon. It's just like, oh, no. Yeah, that's... Yeah, and I think it's because we don't have that we have veterans still of the Middle East, but we don't have that generation of like World War II vets, that like 15, 16-year-old kids that, went to Europe and saw people exploding next to them, and came back really hard, and then became police officers and firefighters and things. We don't have that generation now, like a generation that was just traumatized and hardened so that you could operate very coolly. You've seen the worst that people can do, and you come back here, and the things you see, in your regular work as a police officer is nothing compared to what you saw during the war. My grandfather, my father's father, was a police detective, and after the war, one of the very first calls that he got with his partner was going into a house with a guy that was, I think it was like, threatening to kill his wife or something. It's like a domestic violence kind of thing, kind of like a hostage situation. And he had a shotgun, and basically they were entering the house, and the partner decided he was going to go first, walked right into the guy, in a shotgun right to the head. And my grandfather still has a photo of his like very first partner with like the Terminator 2, just like a huge chunk of his head taken out, and it doesn't faze him at all. And it like that was just luck. It was just like, it could have just as easily been me, and it's not like that didn't discourage him from doing that job. The very first situation he walked into, his partner was killed, and he still has the crime scene photo of that in his little book of memories. And kind of like he had a book of photos of stuff he had taken during the war, and then stuff he had taken on the job, or things he collected, I guess, like copies of crime scene stuff and things he'd had on the job. Grisly stuff. And so he was hard against all of that kind of stuff, and I don't think that exists in the same way in the police force. There's a lot more fearful people, and people that use their gun or their firearms in panic and stuff, which is not what they're trained to do. But I think they get into situations that are beyond what they expected. But yeah, I definitely don't have the constitution to be. I guess I might be able to harden myself to that kind of thing if I resolve that that's that this is my calling, this is the job that I need to do. But I know just my disposition now, it would be really hard to not get angry or not be afraid in like situations that would totally make me useless as a police officer. Yeah, so I don't know. And it's always, though, like when you look at small towns, like the kids in small town high schools and stuff, the kids that become the cops are the short kids that want to have a chance to boss people around. Like it's like the people that had no power, they felt they had no power, growing up, or like in social circles or whatever. They're the ones that decide to be the cops because now they have authority. Now they can tell you what to do. Yeah, that's just. Yeah, anybody, and it's like politicians. Anybody that wants to be a politician shouldn't. So anybody that wants to be a cop should not be allowed to be a cop. Because what is your motivation? Oh, let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, very traumatized. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard though. It's hard to. And I hope we don't. They don't try to solve the policing problem with robots. I can't imagine software mistakes, or software errors being the reason people lose their lives in the future. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Japanese anime or even sci-fi novels and stuff about that. They love robots here, so robot police are their inevitable future idea. Whoa. Yeah. It's weird, this pen sometimes. Yeah, I'm not getting good rejection. My hand shouldn't be picked up, it should just be the pen. And it's usually pretty good about that, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't ignore my hand. It it takes the pen and my hand and tries to make that both input. All right. Oh yeah, I was gonna draw. Completely forgot once the canvas started freaking around. Yeah, well, I think, yeah, maybe for the newer generation now, because yeah, the I think the training and everything, and they're what soldiers went through in everything kind of prior to our involvement in the Middle East was well, I guess no, that's not true. I guess after Korea, after the Korean War, everything became much more guerrilla and much more urban combat, or guerrilla fighting in jungle situations and stuff, which is much more like what you're dealing with in street crime. So the people that came back from Vietnam, or people that came back from the Middle East, they could more directly relate to the criminals that they're dealing with are the enemy in that same way, that what they dealt with at wartime, or in on the battlefield. And so yeah, I think that definitely does fuck them up, because if you could put those people in that mindset. But yeah, I think that the World War II generation was different, though. They really they had like very clear objectives. I think there was a lot less of the horrific stories and stuff that you heard about, just people torturing and terrorizing civilians during that time. And I think maybe it's just because of the scale. It was a world war, and the scale of everything was very different. But yeah, I think more recently it is easier, because especially if you're fighting in cities, or you're worried about people planting explosives on the streets and things. That's much more like what you're going to be dealing with as a cop. So it's much more directly allowing you to think of them as a faceless, mindless enemy, and not other civilians that just need to be controlled or stopped from committing crimes. So it is still the war mentality, because of how weird a soldier's job is now. I mean, it is more of a very high risk, intense police officer in the Middle East. Yeah, than it was. Oh, nice. Nice. Whoa, so I hope everyone's doing well, and that things seem to be coming to an end. I know that, so my daughter said in Los Angeles that they're locked down until July, and some of the universities here as well in Japan are going to stay closed until July, but things seem to be a little more active. It seems like Memorial Day. It seems like Memorial Day was kind of the breaking point, and the weather was nicer, and people wanted to risk doing things, and it had been long enough. The kind of the thinking. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can get back to normal before China takes over all of Asia. They've got Hong Kong, and I think they're angling for Taiwan. So we'll see, because those are, of course, already China. They don't have their own presidents and their own government there. Yeah. So we'll see. And the frustrating part of it, that is because all of the international travel is still very locked down. You're not going to have refugees, if China moves on any place that they decide is theirs. You're not going to have refugees from those countries, because nobody can move. Like, nobody can flee unless they do it in a very weird, illegal way. You can't legitimately leave a situation and get refugee status if there's no international travel. So nice timing, guys. That's great. I'm glad China is taking advantage of the problem they created, as if they wouldn't. But that's, yeah, just shame upon shame is what they're really good at. And I like the thing that came out about YouTube, auto deleting like anti-communist, like anti-Chinese Communist Party Chinese words, like words in Chinese. It was automatically deleting those. That's funny. I wonder if they have people that they don't know about, like contractors or things that have specific political affiliations and things, and they don't even know about it because it doesn't make any sense that would be a company-wide thing. But it'd be great if there was some developer that was working on YouTube that just plugged in their little filter because they didn't like to see their party disparaged. Yeah. But this should be fun, this next, decade of Cold War with China. And each new president has a different approach to it. I can't wait. Yeah, but if the media I don't think they may not. What's going on? Yeah, sorry, this tablet is acting extra strange. And the media is motivated to what they're going to be motivated to do, but if they do make China the big bad like they did with Russia in the 80s, that's going to guarantee a Republican in office a lot longer than there should be. I mean, both parties are very involved with Chinese money, but I think the Democrats seem to be more obviously funded by China. Although it was Nixon that opened China up, so thank you. Thanks for that. Wow. Yeah, so nothing big has changed. I just completely completely screwed up this week with all my technical problems. Yeah, that's scary. I mean, to not even have like a blue screen or anything, to just like start a computer up and just have it do that beep 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 beep. Like that is like that's the motherboard making that sound. So that means things are very fucked up. And sometimes, I had that before. I think it was a computer that I built. So you get kind of weird incompatibilities and stuff sometimes, depending on how good you are at sourcing parts. Oh, sorry. But I think I forget specifically what that was, but I think I had an external device or something that was conflicting. But that specific situation, it was the video card wasn't even hadn't even started yet. Like this was just like check the RAM level of of in the BIOS startup. It was the very early level of initializing hardware. So when that happens, it's like, that could be. I had a bad power source. That's right, a bad power supply that did that. Initially it would start up, but I would get this error right away, and it was a failing power supply that did that. That's what it was. Wait a minute. Okay. Wow. God damn. I don't know what's going on. It shouldn't be freaking out like this. Yeah, I had a restart too. So I know Windows restarts are always great for, and this is Microsoft hardware, so they shouldn't fuck up their own hardware, but often they do. Yeah, there was a restart or an update that gave me some new version of Edge, that amazing browser that they make. That's amazing that Microsoft was so close to such a huge monopoly with Windows 90 whatever, not 98, 95, I guess, because they were starting to make it impossible to, or not impossible, but they were default making internet and local file explorer and everything all one thing, so it was all a single, single piece of software. It looked, or it seemed to be a single piece of software for the user, so nobody would ever install. I think that was like the days of Netscape and stuff. They would never install anything else, and that was kind of that antitrust, when the Microsoft antitrust thing started. But it was amazing, they had so much control, and now they haven't had a browser supremacy in a long time. Alright, I don't think I'm not mastering this cup shape anytime soon. Alright. Oh. Joe's having sushi. That's the one nice thing, is how easy it is to get the, not the one, there's not just one nice thing, but that's amazing how easy it is to get good sushi. Even bad sushi in Japan is amazing sushi. But yeah, that's very funny. And so much cheaper here. I mean, there is insanely expensive sushi here, but for the most part, just the regular level of sushi is much more affordable than it is in the U.S. I guess just because it's easier to get fish, and it's a small country, so I don't know if this is gonna help. Yeah, I might just do multiples of this one. Seems to make the most sense. All right, but yeah, so here on I guess it's Friday night. Yeah, here on a Friday night, let's flip this and see. Whoa, nice. Yeah, I definitely am not. I don't flip things enough to make sure they're nice and symmetrical. All right. Yeah, something like that. Oh, I can redraw that too to make it look a little bit more unique. Yeah, the pen is not... Something has changed about how this stuff is interacting. Or just because it was dropped on the floor. That could be it as well. Alright. Hey, Plexus. Good to see you. Yeah, sorry, this is a strange time. But this is kind of a makeup stream because I had too many technical problems during the week to actually pull off a stream on Monday night. So or it was, Tuesday. So I had to make it up now. Oh. Yeah. Very very frustrating. Like, everything went wrong. Like, within 24 hours, everything that possibly could have gone wrong to stop the stream went wrong. So it couldn't happen on the day. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll do some mugs. Jeez, sorry. So I hope things are going well. Are things starting to unlock where you are, Plexus, or are you still kind of in the midst of things? It seems like every part of the world is having things happen a little bit different timing. Oh. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I shouldn't have so confidently thought, oh yeah, I'll just go to a computer that's been sitting for months and just turn it on and get going. I was happy though. The like I was saying, it's wet and the office space is totally dark. There's just a little bit of, I think, some windows from, like, fire, emergency and stuff. Don't have curtains, don't have blinds, but everything else is pretty blocked out. So it's a dark office in kind of humid Japan for a couple of months, and I was happy that it wasn't worse than, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. The little kitchen area, the sink in the kitchen area, when it rains for some reason in the city, it gets really disgusting. Like the gas or something is pushed up when there's a lot of rainwater. I guess there's some kind of something that's forced up the pipes, so sometimes the drains smell horrible, like the sewer system. So I was expecting to, because there'd been a lot of rain since I'd been there last time, I expected to walk into the office and just have it smell like an open sewer, because the drain had been subjected to that for so long. But it was fine. I guess maybe it had dried out, and because it wasn't being used, that may have helped. But oof. Yeah, sometimes that's really brutal, especially during the rainy season. So next month is when it gets pretty rough, because it rains every day, a lot of water every day, and that pushes out a lot of air for some reason. All right, something like that. Oh, nice. Excellent. Oh, I saw the first murder hornet of the summer. Yeah, this morning when I was having breakfast, I heard that tink on the glass on the balcony, and yeah, it sounds like somebody just like takes their finger and flicks the window as hard as they can. But yeah, one of those things just like plinked off the side of the glass, like looking around for a place to build their murder nest. So yeah, so they're starting to get active again. So I'll try to get a little bit of video of that. Sometimes, especially when the heat increases, they're much more active. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We're on opposite halves of the world. So yes, things are going to start heating up. Yeah, so in June we've got a kind of monsoon rainy season that happens. It's been a little bit different and weird lately, and actually it's been pushed later. It's gone much more into July, which means that the typhoon season is extended. That goes into October, which is, yeah, not good. To have colder weather and typhoons is not good. But yeah, we're going into the worst part of the season in Japan, where just the hot, insanely humid weather makes it pretty rough. And a lot of the big festivals, the big summer festivals, have already been canceled, just because they involve thousands of people crowding together to eat things on sticks and drink things in plastic cups. They don't. They already pre-canceled. It's usually the end of August, so that's already gone. And Gen Con, the game convention that I was going to try to go to this year, officially canceled like a week ago or so. That's in Indianapolis. So I was hoping to kind of double up and visit family and do some interviews and stuff for the other podcast, and or for the podcast that I work with, but it's not going to happen. They're going to do some online stuff, so maybe I'll just hit some people up for some Zoom interviews that I would have met face to face otherwise. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of that. Yeah, that's so funny to think about. I've had a lot of Australian co-workers, and that is such a funny thing, that it's very opposite. And so when they're contacting their family and everything, they're like, oh, I'm dying in this Japanese summer, and they're like, oh, it's beautiful winter right now. Yeah, that's still hard to get your head around. but the Earth is flat, so I don't know how that can possibly happen because the Earth is flat. So why would there be different seasons? Yeah, they don't even talk about that, do they? When the flat, I'm sure there's a theory, but flat Earth. How does flat Earth address the seasonal differences between halves of a flat disk? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Nice. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Surfing Santa, that was the first time I had ever seen the like Santa in swim trunks or surfing, was the Australian Christmas card. All right. Oh, a little cup. I don't know. Oh. All right. But yeah, so I'm playing catch up. And hopefully, because yeah, everything has been so bizarre. This is the first time, like, in more than 10 years, yeah, more than probably 15 years, that I've had a late week as far as the cartoon, because I used to work so far ahead, and then I started to like the idea of having it be more immediate, especially if it's, you know, can like reference very current things. But yeah, so this is the first time I've been behind during the week. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be weird to try to... This pen is like not... I never had to turn it on before, and now it's like it wants the battery. Weird. Alright. Alright. So, somebody's kid or espresso, I think, is going to be the joke here. If I can actually straighten the canvas. Yeah, it should snap to flat. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this to look right, and maybe a little bit bigger. All right. Pudgy smugglers, right? Nice. Mm. Right. That's right. Yeah, if you saw my early attempt at this, that was so sad. Yeah, because I didn't have the cam link, so there was I could go with the web camera. I could go into, was the only way I could go into my streaming, and I didn't think, because I can barely, sometimes Photoshop and OBS don't run well on a decent computer, so I definitely thought on this tablet I couldn't do both. And when you're running it on the same, without multiple monitors, then you have that thing where you're switching between your streaming software all the time. That looks really lame doing the stream. But yeah, I finally got, yeah, so it's still a tablet. It's still the Surface, Microsoft Surface thing that isn't very underpowered, but you can run Photoshop okay, at least for doing this kind of stuff. And I wouldn't want to do photo editing on this or anything more intense, or painting. But for the cartooning, it seems to work. But yeah, I had my embarrassing home setup with a reflection in the glass of the tablet. Yeah, so I had a cam link that so I had to, and this the only video out on this thing is a one of those multimedia ports or whatever. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. So the small size media port, and so I had to get an adapter for that, and then the cam link, and then I could get video into a decent PC to stream. Yeah, and I tried to do the opposite. I tried to use OBS on the tablet and stream a game, PC game, so that the PC had full resources, and all of the power would go to be running the game, and then stream it to here. But I was getting audio stuttering over the when I was doing cam link into the tablet. The audio stuttered really bad, so I've got a really embarrassing live stream and I couldn't hear it either because using the microphone, the Yeti, the USB Yeti takes over your sound card, so I couldn't monitor what source I was putting out if I was going to also hear myself or hear my sound level. So yeah, that was very frustrating. I don't like how you can't kind of audition all your sources and kind of hear what you're putting out directly with the way things are now. Yeah, I'm sure there is a way, and I'm sure it's very expensive, but yeah, for my little simple setup, it's really frustrating to hear everything that you're doing and putting out, and being able to kind of balance it, to mix it in the software. I'm sure if I wasn't using free software, there'd probably be better ways to do that, but yeah, that's a little frustrating to only hear what you're doing once it's going out, and you're asking people on the stream, can you hear this? Is the music too loud? Is my voice too loud? That's really frustrating. There's got to be a better way to go about that. So I did, for the other podcast, I set up a testing Twitch channel so I can try things out, try configurations out, and see what my sound settings need to be before I actually live stream, so I don't embarrass myself with this. Yeah, because you could hear my voice perfectly like this stream, because I was using the same microphone, but the game audio was going in the background behind my voice. So it was the most annoying stream. Fuck. Joey's back. And he got his girl sushi, so she is happy. Oh, is that what that's called? I've just seen it called like a media port, but maybe Thunder. Yeah, maybe that's a Thunderbolt. Yeah, but the that weird, on the larger version, it looks like a kind of a bizarre. I don't know what does it look. Yeah, it's a weird kind of. If it's a square HDMI, but just has like a one. If an HDMI had just one angled side, had a square side and an angled side, that's the media port. So I have one on the video card on my PC, has one, and then there's a miniature one on the side of this Surface. Maybe that's a Thunderbolt. I thought Thunderbolt was a Mac. That's Lightning. That's right. It's not Thunderbolt. That's Lightning. I'm thinking of Lightning connector. Yeah. So the Mac is Lightning. So maybe Thunderbolt. Yeah. So everything is a little bit better here. It's still drawing on this tablet is not great, as you can see through my complaining. I get a lot of weird input, and the pen is not as good. The Cintiq is so nice. It's specifically made to do this, and this is specifically made to take notes, or turn your handwriting into text or whatever. It's all those stupid business applications. It doesn't have the sensitivity and the thing I need, but since I'm not painting, since it's just cartooning, it's not so bad. DisplayPort, thank you, Plexus. Yeah, DisplayPort. That's what I'm trying to think of. Yeah, not MediaPort. Yeah, it's a DisplayPort. Yes, there's a mini DisplayPort on here, and also my video card has a full-size DisplayPort, which is this insanely expensive adapter. That's crazy. That's like $40 in Japan for an adapter to come out of a DisplayPort and convert it to HDMI, or even the cable that one end is DisplayPort, one end is HDMI. But that's why they invented it. Yes, thank you. There we go. Yeah, it's almost frightening to think about how many types of ports have become obsolete since I've been using computers. I still remember SCSI ports where you had the parallel ports, or the SCSI ports, or the parallel ports with the big clips. So like printers and things would have those big wide connectors that had the kind of the little metal bracket on the side, and they clipped on. So the port on the computer actually had wire securing clips on it, and you set it in and then clipped it on the side, because I guess if it pulls out, it's fucked. And I've had that. Oh, nice. That's excellent. Yeah, floppy drive. Wow, that's pretty cool. Damn. Yeah, that's cool that they haven't changed, like the internals haven't changed enough that you'd have to change. Have you had to like do modifications for like to secure a motherboard or to secure something differently? Have you had to do any like weird internal modifications, or has it been like standard enough that you can just basically just keep replacing components? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. All right, let's try. So I will. I'll try. Hopefully we'll be back on schedule next week from the office. So things seem to be pretty regular. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the school schedule. So if I go Tuesday morning should work pretty well. And I don't have any university work for a while, so it'll be all streaming all Tuesday. What am I doing? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's really funny. Okay. So here and here, and then do this. All right. Yeah, so it's good. There was a chance today to catch up because I can't get behind on this cartoon. And it never happened. I mean, I was always really good at being on schedule. I just got to everything that went wrong was just like, okay, this is not going to be solvable today, or if it is, there'll be no time to stream. So just put it off, and then the rest of the week was busy until Saturday. So that's why I'm here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get another lockdown. No. Oh, nice! Only 2 more weeks. That's great. Yeah, they've been talking about, because things have gotten so screwed up schedule-wise in Japan, that they might change to a more Western type schedule, because right now they use the spring break as the divider between school years, and so that's when new employees, after spring holiday, is when new employees start their new jobs, when the school year changes. So graduation is in the spring, and I think they like it because visually, you're taking your graduation photos and things, and there's cherry blossoms everywhere, and it's the time of new things and renewal and all that. But they're starting to think, to kind of match the rest of the world, that it might be easier to start in the fall, so to have the September start, so the summer vacation being the break that divides the school years. But I don't know. I mean, because it's going to affect so many things, because it's been structured like that for so long, or since after the war, it's been structured like that for a long time. So it might be hard to change, because then companies will also have to change, because then students will graduate, in June or July, not in March. So yeah, it's going to shift everything about the new employees interviews. And they're also, that's the thing that I haven't figured out, and maybe other countries do it. It's just not a common practice US. So they have exams. To get a job at certain corporations, you have to take the test. And it's not a certification. It's not because you need to prove anything. It's just this like random competency exam. Like there's some math and some logic problems and whatever would apply, kind of vaguely to the type of work you're going to be doing. But they have these weird, they just love exams here. So you have to, as a new employee, take the exam to get into, it's part of the interview process to be hired at a new company. And so I'm trying to figure out some of these companies, like what could possibly be on this exam. Yeah, it's really funny. But I guess they want to eliminate the, because how you can kind of fake your way. You can just lie in your resume, and if it's not, or lie on your school history and everything. If you lie on that and nobody checks it, then you can kind of fake your way, like Jeffrey Epstein. You can fake your way into situations, and so they want to maybe prevent that as much as possible. So they have like one more step that you've actually, you actually have the degree you say you have because you can pass some basic competency test. Oh yeah, code tests. Right. Well, that seems to be a good thing too, because you definitely wouldn't want somebody to fake their way into a developer job. God damn, yeah, that'd be crazy. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, for the semester. Okay. Oh, cool. So maybe you have, more of a similar. Oh, that's right, because seasons are opposite as well. So that would be winter. So like June, July, August is winter. Huh. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to happen just because of the logistics of it. But Japan uses the March, April, the end of March, beginning of April to be their transition to new school year. And I guess it works okay too, because the tax year, like the business year, the tax season, everything kind of lines up in a weird way that way. So maybe that helps them. I don't know. I'm not sure why that became such a thing, but when I've heard people discussing it, it's like there's a lot to unravel if they're going to make that change. And the only thing that would help is going to a foreign university or a foreign student coming here. It would just make it more compatible. You wouldn't have any downtime, or you wouldn't be starting like in the middle of a schedule. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, yeah, I was reading. There's a Wired article about the unionization. Unionization at Amazon. I wish Amazon, not Amazon. Kickstarter. So they're talking about the Kickstarter union push and how they got the vote and how they were able to unionize. And then Kickstarter said we're down 35%, and they fired like 40-something% of their employees, or laid off, I guess. But the interesting thing, the thing that stood out the most about that article is they knew, like the employees knew they didn't have a chance of organizing unless they got the developers on board, like unless they got the people that really have, influence on how things go at the company. And if they walked out, you'd be in the most difficulty, or the developers. And so once they started talking to the kind of tech side of the company, and they seemed to be okay to organize to vote on a union, then they knew that it was going to happen. But I thought that was very funny. It just shows you how these technology, there's so many positions that are almost completely meaningless because they're just in service of the technology. And if you don't have, back-end developers and people that are actually like making the thing work, it doesn't matter how well marketed or how well you're doing on social media. So that really stood out as a funny thing. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, I see. So yeah, you are gonna. Wow, only a couple more weeks. No, that's a good point. Yeah, all of this stuff, all of these ridiculous positions that people have had, especially at startups and tech companies and things, people that are getting paychecks for why, and yeah, realizing it's basically, yeah, it is only the technology and the marketing of it that you need, and all of this other odd support. Like, what was the what was the one position? So they mainly talked to this one woman that was involved in. I can't remember. It was a ridiculous position. It was like, damn, I forget. It was really really funny. Her job title, and because it was something like community outreach, but also like ethical, or there was some weird thing that you were like, how does this even apply to what people are putting on Kickstarter? And the funny thing is like Kickstarter isn't even anything. It's like this weird middleman. It's like a guy that's like, okay, give me all your money and I'll give it to this guy. It's like they just came up with this like weird middleman system, and so there's a lot of people. I mean, you can very easily do the exact same thing that Kickstarter is doing, and if you already have your own marketing, your own, you know, social media presence, your own internet presence, what the hell do you need Kickstarter for? It's just like all they're doing is promoting, and then kind of getting in the way and taking 10%. So yeah, I don't know. They don't because I guess they deal with. There's really not even much logistically they even deal with it. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it became such a default place to crowdfund that they're able to promote. Their promotion is pretty strong, and they've developed enough trust. There's been few enough scams on there that people aren't feeling so burnt by that style of fundraising. But still, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. They put themselves completely in the middle of just taking advantage of creators wanting to directly do things, directly produce for their audiences. It's like, yeah, we'll help you do that. We'll collect the money and then hold it and then hand it over to you minus 10%. I wonder if they do some kind of crazy because there is like a period of time, like they release the funds, like they collect everything and then release the funds. I wonder if they do something with that money before they release it. I'm sure there is. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's insane. I can't believe that like it's legitimized itself. And they actually, were able to unionize. Yeah, the funny thing too, when they were talking about like their thinking before unionizing was, so it's a publicly traded company. It has shareholders, and I think Kickstarter went public. I can't remember when, but pretty soon, pretty cool, soon into their existence. And the employees, of course, this wasn't any of the developers, but just these like, and I guess they're based in Brooklyn, so this makes a little bit of sense. They were talking about, well, maybe we want to just make the company an employee-owned cooperative. It's like you already had an IPO. How do you convert a corporation with shareholders into an employee-owned cooperative? It's like, it's just, the thinking was incredibly crazy. Yeah, exactly. How do they justify? Yeah, that many full time employees enough to unionize? Yeah, yeah. It's really crazy. But yeah, but they were the first, and it's still like we don't know what the. It was good timing, like the lockdown, the health crisis happened at a very good time for them because they could punish the labor organizers. The management could punish the labor organizers and get rid of them, and have a justifiable, like, economic reason for doing it, because because projects are down 35%. Let's fire half of the people. And, 100% of the organizers were in that half. So, uh-oh. Oh, no. I'm having... So, I've never had to turn this fan on before. Or maybe just like the battery lasts so long. Now I've had to turn it on, and now it's telling me it's not... okay, well, I will draw very quickly. Yeah, it's telling me that it's not doing well. But yeah, so the whole Kickstarter story is so strange. And but then the one thing that they did do before they were all fired, so maybe they saw it coming, is give themselves amazing, like the best severance packages that they could possibly put together. So everybody that was fired got, like 6 months of full salary and Cobra and all that. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And we'll know the full story someday. Oh, come on. Shit. Okay, I might have to just do... Okay, I think I'm fucked. I think my pen is totally fucked. It's never been powered on before. Shit, my little stylus is if you can see. Oh, no, you can't really see. So now it's telling me low power, but I've never had it on before. So I'm not sure what the deal is here. Yeah, I just need my my stylus for my Surface, not this one. Yes, everything that can. So I think the forces in the world are working actively against this cartoon. They don't want it to be published any longer. I may have to agree with them. All right. Well, let's try something like this. Not only, well, these are going to be late, so I'm not sure how even seen they're going to be by the subscribers on Go Comics. All right. Yeah, so maybe maybe this is going to have to do. God damn. Yeah, and I'll have to do any shading or anything with that. Let me plug this in. Let me see. This is a... oh, yeah, it's just a USB. Oh, which I don't have. No, that's USB-C. Oh, no. I should have. Oh, yeah, I've got something. So I will talk and not draw and see if I can charge this for a few minutes and get back. I don't know what is going on. I guess things have just been so out of whack, like anything normal. It's just incredibly hard to maintain. Sorry, I'm reaching under my desk here and plugging things in. All right. So now I'm charging a stylus. Great. Yeah, right. Yeah, I had mouse drawing is not I can color, I think, but it's so weird. Like I've never had that powered on, or maybe it's just one of those things that the battery lasts a long time and it never it doesn't indicate when it's on or off. It just, like, when you're moving it, it is all that toggles it. But let's see here. What? Why is this toolbar not giving me a... Oh, there it is. Weird. Okay. So we'll just have a little box thing. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. It should just take a few minutes to get that up to a usable charge. I hope. All right. Yeah, we'll do something like this. But yeah, those were really long. That article was really long, and but interesting about the whole process, because it's the first tech company to unionize. So it's funny, it was New York. I wonder if that made a big difference, New York as opposed to California. But I still think there are way too many idealistic, socialists in tech companies that think that tech companies are not pure naked capitalism. They think there's something different or something special about these tech startups and these places where they're working, that no, they listen to us, and it's all about inclusion and cooperation. It's all about money. It's always been. You're going to be really disappointed if you are thinking anything else. And it's and a lot of that is all about just cashing in, just the timing of cashing in. It doesn't have to be a successful idea. You just have to convince some investors, and you just have to sell it or cash in at the right time, and screw over all your employees. That was a thing during the kind of late 90s, 2000s. I was involved in a little bit of that internet bubble stuff, and that was all that was happening, as people were just working for a startup, getting dumped by just so much instant unemployment, and people that had done stupid things like relocate their families and things to work for startups, and then just the founders decided it was time to cash in, and it's time for you to find another startup in another city. Don't know. Yeah, well, maybe I'll keep that. Are these too small? Yeah. Yeah, right. Nice. Oh wow, they've got a tracking app for the bug. Wow, that sucks. Because that tracking app can then be used to report people that are being, whatever, racist or transphobic or not leashing their dog or whatever. You can now report anybody. And some people really get off on that. They love snitching. So it'll be interesting. The icon for that app will just keep changing based on what you're supposed to be reporting. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't understand how smartphones have gotten people to not think about the consequences of a lot of stuff they're doing, and having a microphone on all the time. Like Android has that thing where it tells you what song is playing. Like there's a display that tells you what song is playing. That means the microphone is always on. If it's, so what are you thinking about having any sort of, and that was the thing, like right away people started having business meetings and things on Zoom, a completely insecure platform, and you shouldn't be talking about anything your business is doing that is connected to the stock market or anything on an insecure conference call. Yeah, that was amazing. Wow. Yeah, I think all of this, I really think that a lot of world governments have looked at what China is doing and said, that works really well. And I wonder if we can, kind of convince people that aren't under a fascist regime to go along with this sort of monitoring. it's amazing how similar the responses to things are. Because, you know, everything looks so harsh when the Wuhan area was starting to deal with things, and how there were, you know, there was all kinds of crazy video about how people were being dealt with that they thought were infected. And then we saw very similar stuff happening, and, you know, police confronting people, and people, you know, screaming at each other for not wearing masks. And yeah, so it didn't end up looking all that different. So I think that's giving a lot of people the wrong idea. So we'll all be in a Chinese-style surveillance state soon. And maybe it'll be all Chinese technology, all Huawei technology that's monitoring us. Yeah, because they'll give you a good deal if you leave the back doors that they put in all of their hardware to communicate with the communist government. They'll give you an awesome deal on this hardware, especially if you want to use it for your defense department or any government agencies. Wow. Encryption is illegal because we need access to everything that you're saying and doing. Wow. Yeah, I noticed the kind of rise of encrypted chat apps and stuff. Maybe motivated by people that want to not use stuff that the Chinese can monitor. The, you know, WeChat or whatever, whatever was being whichever got popular, and all of Asia was using it until they realized it was completely insecure. I forget which app it was, but yeah, that really sucks. Yeah, I'm really worried about Australia and its relationship to China, and how much influence Chinese nationals are starting to have there. That sounds really scary. Because that's the thing that I think a lot of people are thinking about with America, because America has a huge Chinese American population, and a lot of them still have loyalties to the homeland, or at least, if not loyalties, at least if they can speak Chinese, they can have communication and can be seduced by, you know, if you sell it, you know, you can sell us this technology or this information. So a lot of people were worried about that, and also the kind of destabilization of American politics by just being overrun by Chinese candidates that then had connections. But it doesn't seem to be happening yet. It doesn't seem quite yet, and I don't know what that's down to. But that fear, because it's been something people have been talking about for a while, hasn't really come to pass. And I guess because it's not just Chinese Americans. There's a lot of people with motivation to have political influence. So, you know, all of the Latino Americans and African American, everybody of every descent has political motivations. So it's not like people are just sitting around waiting to be infiltrated by the Chinese. There's a lot of other foreign influence. All right. I can't believe my weird pen died. Wow, that's funny. Yeah. So only terrorists use encryption. Wow. Yeah, it's really... Let me see if I can get this chat. There we go. The text wasn't wrapping. Wow. Yeah, that's a good idea to not have your phone near any conversations. Yeah, well, that's the thing with the surveillance state is people are like, I don't do anything wrong. Why would I care? It's like, really, you really don't. I mean, we're at the state, or we're in the with all the social justice and things that are going on in the world. Like the idea of blackmail, or something, what's wrong or what you don't have to hide. It doesn't matter. You can be, ideologically perfect, and still people, even a lot of people, very woke people obsessed with social justice, make a misstep or they misspeak, and that's the end of them. They get turned on and canceled, and that will be. Do you really want there to just be more of that? Because it's not just, oh, you're doing something illegal, or you're doing something perverted or against the social norms that is going to make you vulnerable. It's really, really minor things now. It's almost thought crimes at this point, and so almost anything can be used to to damage your career, to damage your social standing or reputation, or at least get you taken off of a social network. So you do really want that all to be out there. Yeah, nothing to hide. People are creating all sorts of things to be to be blackmailed for, or whatever. Yeah, that was the thing about that Epstein documentary that made you really wonder what he had on people, that he had so much power, and that it just coincided. Like, he likes underage girls, and so he realized anybody that likes underage girls is going to be instantly vulnerable to him if he brings them into his little circle. Yeah, it's crazy. It's surprising if people had that same thinking. It's surprising that there aren't more like drug dealers, and I guess there are to some extent with madams or pimps, or people or running escort services and things, where they instantly have they instantly have blackmail on you. So you have to either if you're going to deal with them, you have to hide your identity, or have to be very careful about any dealing. But it's surprising that there aren't more. There's more illegal services that aren't doing that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the weird thing, that I was surprised how I thought the health emergency that we're dealing with would be bigger than people's bullshit, like personal agendas and personal politics. But it's not, and people are, I wear a mask because I care about people, and I socially isolate because I'm saving your grandma, and it's virtue signaling to do these very basic things that it's just being part of society. It's not being better than anybody, but people love any chance, I guess, now, any opportunity to show that they're one of the good ones. They're one of the good people, because it justifies a lot of their bad behavior, I think. I think I'm putting coffee in these cups. Oh, that sounds great. Oh man, yeah, I've had some excellent edamame, and I when I lived in kind of rural Illinois for a little bit before we came to Japan, there were like fields of soybeans like all around the area we were living, very farm area. And it's funny that we don't, like, Americans don't eat, I mean, they just press them into oil or whatever, but that we don't eat soybeans because they were everywhere. And I only ever ate edamame in Japan. Yeah, my wife thought that was incredibly funny. She's like, "What's that? What are they growing?" I was like, "That's soybeans." Like, why can't you get soybeans? And also the tofu was so bad. You know, it was rural Illinois, but the tofu was horrible. It was kind of that health food store tofu, so really dry and really rough textured. Oh no, mouse drawing. What's going on? What's... Oh shit. I think that... Oh, the tabletop is not good. Okay, let's see how this pen is doing. Come on. Oh yeah, so that's right. So the light doesn't come on unless the battery is low. So that's why it was... That's why I was seeing that light for the first time, because it was telling me it was already on the low side. Okay. A little bit of a charge already. Yeah, I gotta get my official Microsoft stylus back. I don't think it charges at all. Oh, actually I should make this darker if I'm gonna... There we go. Nice. Yeah, it's funny that well, I think that's going to be a strategy, definitely, to kind of backdoor things or kind of do certain social manipulation. Hey, CX Graphics, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching the stream. This is not the usual time, but maybe I can make it happen more. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks for the host. Oh, that's excellent. Very cool. But it, yeah, so this isn't the usual time, but I need to make up, make up for my missed stream, and also the cartoons, because the cartoons got off schedule because of that this week. As long as there's 2 a week, I think everything is cool. But yeah, I don't want to. Don't want this to happen too often, and also because it screws up the audience. So a lot of people expect, because there's a Go Comics is you can get the cartoons in your email, and so you get certain ones every week. And if the day gets screwed up, the delivery day gets screwed up, then I think it can hurt the your subscribers. The people don't see it the day that they do, or it gets buried, or yeah, I think that'll affect things. So I want to make sure I can keep my schedule. I've done okay for 20 years. This is like only the second time I've gotten off schedule. Nice. Oh, I've had, yeah, my mic's sitting out here. I guess it's worked okay. All right. Oh, that's the thing that I've seen on so many Zoom calls. So maybe for the lockdown or the sheltering at home, people bought microphones for the first time. So a lot of people bought. This is probably one of the recommended things on Amazon. Bought the these USB Yeti mics, and it's a microphone. And if you're used to handling condenser microphones or whatever, you're thinking the top, right, the end. And these microphones are the diaphragm is vertical, right? So it's the face of the microphone, and you even kind of can see that from that weird stand that they give you. They want you, it face it. You can tilt it up a little bit, but it's the flat face that you want to put against yourself. So when you change the sound pattern, the sensitivity pattern on it, it's all based on the face. And so many people are talking to the top of the microphone on Zoom, so it's all weird and distorted because it's picking up weird, because they're not used to this stupid new streamer style of microphone. So that's very funny. I like it though, because you don't have to have it in front of your mouth. You can because of that face, you can put the face down and kind of just catch the edge of that cardioid shape and still get a nice it's nice and sensitive in that way. But so many people are talking to the top of their Yeti microphones. That was a new thing. Hey, oh yeah, yeah. I used to do a lot more. I'm doing more like character stuff now, like especially being in Japan. So I'm talking to CX, CX graphics. But I do, yeah. I've done a ton of logos and banner work and stuff, and I still do a lot of for the podcast stuff. I do all the graphics and like thumbnails and things for the Idle Red Hands podcast. But yeah, I used to do a ton of that stuff, especially during the big internet days. So yeah, I've got a lot of experience at that, but I haven't had to do it in a while, just except for myself. I've just done a lot of logos and things for my own projects and comic books and stuff. But yeah, I definitely can do logo design and stuff. And it doesn't look anything like this, like my super simple cartoon. Yeah, so this cartoon is a very simple, intentionally kind of a simple style and simple coloring, just to make it easy to produce and kind of quick to draw during the week, because it's a and because it started out as daily, like the original version of this was a daily cartoon, so it needed to be something I could produce quickly. But yes, yes. Yeah, that's scary, right? Wow, that's right. This cartoon is probably older than some people watching this live stream. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, because 2000, the birth date of this cartoon is 2002. So if you were born in the later 2000s, this cartoon is your senpai. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, wait, don't do that. That's so funny. Yeah, I can't even get my head around some people's birth years now. When people say the years they were born, I'm like, what? I guess that's things that parents have had to deal with. Because it used to just be that I would figure out, oh, so you were in high school when I was in, middle school or whatever. It used to be, that simple calculation. But now it's like, wait, what? I was going through a divorce when you were in the hospital? When your mother was in the hospital with you? That kind of stuff is funny. Oh, actually, this is all wrong. I want them to all be focused on the little cup. Nice. No way. That's great. That's really cool, though. Yeah, 2000's a great. That's a great. You had so many twos in your birthday. That's awesome. That's so funny. Yeah, that's amazing. So this cartoon was almost created the exact. Wow. So yeah, that's so crazy. All right. Wow. Yeah, ages of things is so strange now. And thinking about like that's the thing that's funny, is like so many television writers and comic book writers especially are so much younger than I am now, and it's hard to just believe that you can be entertained or be shown something new, like be shown something original or new ideas and things by somebody that's so much younger than you, because we grow up with that idea that, oh, people older than you know so much more, they have everything so much more figured out, and that's, especially with technology and things, that's so not the case. The way that people age, that are kind of obsolete in their use of technology, their competency with technology happens so fast. I mean, people in their 20s feel like they're, getting out of touch with social media just because things change so fast. So it's very funny. All right, there we go. That's got to be nice to remember. To just be able to think, what year is it? Oh, that's how old I am. That's really cool. All right. Yeah, I think size-wise, maybe a little bit smaller on these. As long as it doesn't make them too clustered together. I don't like how thick the line is. Yeah, that's not going to help. All right, let's take a look at... Yeah, right. TikTok is all... Yeah, I can't believe... Yeah, I have a couple of it. That little workshop that I teach, there's a couple of high school kids and a junior high school kid too, and they're all about TikTok and talking about like what they're going to do or what they're going to perform next or what's popular on TikTok is very soon, especially for Japanese kids. Yeah, very strange. Yeah, it's just weird how fast some things move now. There we go. All right, well, let's take a look real quick at last week. Not last week, the week before last. There should be... no, I guess it was last week, but these aren't going to be available at that same way yet, so I can't look at anything I did before, but this is so the last two. So what was the dates here? So yeah, May 21st. So quick comment section. So there was nothing, not even a thermos. Oh, 4 comments and 11 likes. There was no need. Homeschooling, yeah, right. I miss my Rat Patrol lunchbox. Yeah, I got too much nostalgia maybe going on. Are you kidding me? A lunchbox at my school was saying, kick my ass. No way. What kind of school did this guy go to? Kick my ass. That's funny. Yeah, I think they went out of fashion. So it was all brown bags and lunch trays. Probably at some schools. But lunchboxes, and not in high school, definitely. Nobody had a lunchbox in high school, but when you're in elementary school, that was always, you always had to envy those Star Wars lunchboxes. I had a I don't know where the hell my mother even found this, but she went out shopping one time when we were staying with her parents, my grandparents. They went out shopping, and it was, summer, so back to school, there were things, pick up back to school, and she found a Kung Fu, the TV show, the original one from the 70s, Kung Fu lunchbox, that I never watched Kung Fu in my life. I was, like 8 years old or whatever. So I went to school, everyone had Star Wars and, excellent lunchboxes, and I had Kung Fu with David Carradine, a bald David Carradine on the side. I had no idea what the show was, but she must have got quite a deal on that Kung Fu lunchbox. And it wasn't even like the images. 'Cause I know they did like painted art. Like there was painted illustration from live action TV shows like Bonanza and stuff had lunchboxes, but it wasn't photographs. It was painted artwork, and that's what it was. It was scenes from Kung Fu painted. Yeah, now I'd appreciate maybe the lunchbox a lot more, but at the time I was like, what the hell? What kind of horrible thing is this? It was as unpopular as possible. Wow, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and I think it depends on the school and the area, because I know Yeah, in some areas, in some high schools, like you're just eating from vending machines and stuff. Anyhow, and like in a lot of like Los Angeles and stuff, it's just all they just got a bunch of vending machines. So it's not cool to do anything but have a pocket full of quarters. But yeah, get your ass kicked. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, but when they stopped making the metal lunchboxes, when they were all plastic and it was just like stickers on plastic lunchboxes, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the lunchbox here is totally different. I don't think there's. I mean, there are still. They do have like Obento boxes with some small graphics and stuff on them for characters and stuff, but nothing compared to those metal lunchboxes with the kind of the embossed kind of 3-dimensional. Yeah, the embossed images and stuff on them. All right. And you didn't have anything to swing at each other on the bus if you didn't have a metal lunchbox. All right. And so here's May 19th. Oh, that's right. Nothing had prepared them for becoming peanut butter and pickle relish sandwiches. 8 comments and 4 likes. Not as liked. Maybe the disgusting factor. Bread, peanut butter, pickle relish. What's the other thing? A block of butter. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's uncut bread. The pregnant lady in the house should have a clue. Is it dill or sweet relish? Little brown one may be a gluten-free loaf. They make them smaller because they don't have gluten that keeps regular bread from crumbling. Of course somebody knows that. Peanut butter and mayonnaise is the best. Wow, peanut butter and mayonnaise. Peanut butter and sweet pickle relish on white bread in thought. I thought I was the only one. No way. Somebody actually... I totally just made that up. Like it totally is a joke because I like just the sound of peanut butter pickle relish. But somebody actually... I wonder if that's real. Somebody would actually eat that. I'm pretty sure I have had that peanut butter sandwich book I bought when I was a kid. Wow, I remember one along with peanut butter and crab meat. Peanut butter and ketchup. Wow, peanut butter and crab meat. That's rough. See, you do weird food combinations and you get all of this information. So Bonnie Brown Watson eats peanut butter and pickle relish sandwiches. I can't even imagine. Oh, sorry. K5 is gagging because of all of the peanut butter and crab meat sandwiches. Oh, man. Right. Oh man, yeah, sorry I hit everybody during their dinner time with these disgusting food combinations. That's amazing. Peanut butter and anything. That's really insane. I can't believe how that's such. That starts a conversation. Peanut butter and something cartoons will definitely start a conversation here. That's crazy. All right, let's try a couple of randoms. 2014. So Plexus was 14 when this cartoon came out. They were amazed by how quickly uneaten became inedible. Fast food joke. Vultures don't think so. They thought it was yummy. Yes, a ready meal. Been ready for 3 days, but they can't really be ready because it's still in the packaging. You're pretty much there from the onset. It's always been pretty much inedible. Nice. Yeah, it was really active. Had some really active fans in like 2014, 2015. Then it just kind of died off. I think people just kind of, changed their taste or whatever. Or maybe I just, lose their the tone. One, like the harshness of the freezer was no place for a bottle of light beer. All right. Yeah, that's that older style. Anything in the aughts is much older. Oof, look at that. Their unidentified but possibly important purpose created a weird little social group. It's the odds and ends of, what's that, IKEA furniture? Okay, looks like... Okay, it's always nice to belong, even if you don't know why. Welcome to the island of misfit toy parts. The beginning of hoarding. That might be good for something someday. turns into the inevitable bucket of crap. Almost everyone has one. Looks like some weird stuff from art, like chalk, pastels, and part of a paint box. All right. Yeah, I think it was just like thinking about random, IKEA leftovers. All right, one more. Hey, Banjo. Banjo Studios, nice. Actually, some Twitch. I don't do well on Twitch, so maybe the different day helps a lot. Mac and cheese with peas is not too bad. Yeah, peas and my mom used to do tuna and peas. Always, we never had straight macaroni and cheese. It was always tuna fish and peas mixed in. So only when I was on my own could I have pure unadulterated macaroni and cheese. All right, so 2013, the lingering candle smoke seemed to overshadow the entire celebration. What? All right. Sometimes I don't remember any of some birthday, one cupcake. Oh, one reply. No wonder the cupcake looks so depressed. It's all alone. Nice. Yeah, 2013. Well, it's funny how people come and go. On Go Comics, some people are reading every week and then just kind of stop. But I guess, with all that stuff, your schedules change. Nice. Yeah. Nice to see you from Twitch, Banjo. That's very cool. I hope, so this is an off day. Usually I do this on Monday night, North American time, like Tuesday afternoon in Japan. That's right. 2013 Plexus was 13. Your 13th birthday. That's right. Was it really the second? Oh, wait. Oh, that's funny. Right before. That's too funny. Wow. Yeah, let me check. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, I think I have terrible tags. Oh, there's my voice. I have terrible, my tags on Twitch and my keywords and categories are not great. Nice. But yeah, I appreciate, thanks for dropping by. And this is, a weekly single panel gag cartoon that I do twice a week. So Tuesdays and Thursdays is when it usually gets posted. This week there were some technical difficulties, so I'm doing a Makeup Saturday session for this, but I usually do a stream for the creation of these and then post them online, and they show up on Go Comics. So if you go to gocomics.com/domestic abuse, the title of the cartoon is Domestic Abuse, you can find the whole archive, and that's what we were just looking at. I was looking at the comments on the old cartoons, and you can see kind of the stylistic change. When I moved to digital, it kind of became a little more standardized. But when I was drawing originally, it was Sharpie on paper, and I would scan that and edit it a little bit and then color this same way. But the coloring was in Photoshop. So once I had a tablet that I could draw on screen with, I just started doing it all digitally. And that was that. All right. So, look at that. That's right. Little keyboard. I'll have to take a look at a couple of the creative people that popped up on Twitch, see what their streams are. But yeah, I really appreciate the host. That's great. Oh yeah, I have everything backed up. Hey Ben, thanks for the thanks for the compliment. Yeah, that's my that's what helps make them look so sad and isolated. I have everything backed up, and I have all the original files as well. But that's the thing that was a little scary of going to only digital, is I don't have the paper that I could rescan and recolor ever. There's not the original art component to it anymore. But I have all the JPEGs that I make, and then also the Photoshop files are archived in multiple places and like on the cloud and everything, or on like Dropbox and stuff. So they're backed up and rescuable. So yeah, if things like hard drives go down, I don't lose anything. But yeah, the longer that I do this, though, the more ridiculous that archive gets. I think just the Photoshop files for 20 years of this cartoon is pretty big. It's yeah, many gigs. Hey, Plexus is following me on. Are you on? Oh yeah, nice. Thanks for the follow. Nice. Is that another? Yeah, maybe another account. Very cool. Oh yes, it must be on. Nice. I have another Twitch viewer. Excellent. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and I wonder. So I've been doing the using that Restream.io to multi-stream. I wonder if that hurts. I wonder if they because notifications have been have kind of been irregular, and I wonder if it hurts to not just dedicate to a specific platform. If they penalize you for just not going directly, not going directly to their server. I don't know if they can tell. I'm sure they can because of the source. But I was always curious about that because it's never picked up on Twitch. Nice. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so something about just the difference. Yeah, it was different, or what he was trying to prove, what it was trying to get across. I don't even know. What would that be? A box of... Thanks for joining, Ben. Oh, that's cool. That's right. Facebook as well. Yeah, so I send this to Facebook, so that's cool that people can find it there too. Yeah, there's a page. I have a Abuse Cartoons page on Facebook as well, and I uploaded a bit of the archive to Facebook, but then I realized, yeah, depending on their terms and how they change, I don't want there to be any confusion of ownership, because I think everything you post on Facebook, they're basically saying, yeah, it's ours. But for a little bit, I uploaded. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what if they changed that, because once Facebook was Instagram, I wonder if they're claiming rights to everyone's photos on Instagram as well. Who knows? Nice. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And I guess, though, something that I heard just recently is that Facebook is dying. Like in the countries where it originated, it's dying. And in Japan, it died pretty hard, too. The age, like the demographic for Facebook, started out young, like high school age, university age, and now it's like, 60s. It's like people in their 60s. So basically, living abroad, I have to use Facebook just so I can show family, photos and stuff, so they feel like they're more in touch. But yeah, so my wife does that mostly. But yeah, other than that, like Facebook it's weird that companies still think they need Facebook pages and stuff, and that's where they are still like, go to our Facebook page if you want to, see this latest news or whatever. It seems like there's better places to do that. But yeah, so it's dying in all of the kind of original and a lot of English speaking countries, but I guess like India and places, it's doing well, or it's just starting to pick up. So that's why Facebook is still a thing. And also because I guess everybody has a Facebook account, so they can still get you to log in and try to collect information from you that way. There's still so many websites and things say, log in with Google, log in with Facebook. So they're still assuming so many people. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, but I think it's growing. I think it's a lot of outside the US. It's growing. Yeah, that's true. That's funny that they made and I'm surprised that Instagram picked up the way to, because I remember when it first came out, it's like what is this for? Why do you do it? Why do you want it's a square? And yeah, there were a few things that it's like, wow, that's crazy. But now that they have like, multiple images, there's a lot of things that I think work well. There's a lot of cartoonists in Japan that do what they have. What the style is, it's a vertical 4-panel cartoon in Japan called the yonkoma, and yonkoma has the very specific style, and kind of what happens in each box is kind of very stylized, or very it's a very old traditional style, and but that works really well with the multiple images in Instagram, because then they're hidden from each other, so you can swipe them. You don't get any kind of cheating, like you don't see the end, accidentally before you read through the whole joke. So I think that works really well for sequential art. Instagram works well because I've been trying to figure out a way to do that for a while, and a lot of web comics do that infinite scroll. So if they're going to do panel stuff, that the panel is really important, but it's sequential art, they'll do that infinite scrolling page. But I think it works better when it's completely concealed, but you are confined to the shape. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure that if Facebook has like a good trust level, and I think like new stuff, people are still very cautious about it, but because everybody is on Facebook, and it's the people, like it's, aside from the business pages, people on Facebook are the people that they are saying they are. So I think that helps a lot for businesses, and representing yourself, because it's, you're reading someone's name, you're not reading a screen name or anything. Although you can make a fake Facebook account, most people are representing themselves there. So I think for business, yeah, that definitely would have to help. Nice. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that, because I always think, yeah. Yeah, because I would think eBay first, but eBay has such a hard, such a scammer, level of nonsense going on, that, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. That's very cool, K5. You can do that. Yeah, do that through Facebook. That's really cool. All right. So boxes. So a plain cardboard box. Actually, I should make that a little bit less confusing by maybe doing a shadow here, so it looks like it's at least closed. Yeah, like here. Oh. So the battery is back. Or whatever is happening with this pen. Yeah, something like that to kind of help the... Actually, it would be on this side to help it read like a box. All right. There we go. All right. Oh, that's cool. Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that. That's why it's so frustrating. Yeah, checking stuff, or when I want to check levels or whatever, it does seem like the delay is a bit bigger on Twitch, or maybe they intentionally have a little bit of delayed so they can like cut stuff off if someone's just streaming porn or whatever. It makes it a little bit easier for them to catch it. But yeah, that's frustrating, because if you're trying to check sound levels or how microphones are working and setting up a Twitch, you're waiting a little bit. I noticed. All right. Okay. Yeah, maybe a box and packaging. Yeah, something like, yeah, so he was... No, something about... It was more than being a box. It was packaging. It was more... Yeah, something... yeah, not a container, but yeah, packaging I think is is an odd thing to consider yourself. Oh, yeah. After this week, I've had no ability to drink coffee recently for some reason. My stomach's just been killing me. Maybe, yeah, stress and whatever, but that really sucks. So I switched to green tea for a little bit. So I hope I can get back to coffee because green tea does not do it caffeine wise. It definitely keeps me from sleeping, but it doesn't actually like wake me up in the morning. So that's weird. All right, so something about he no longer considered himself a box. Yeah, nothing changed. It was always that way. Oh, hey Joe. Hey, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Keeps things going. I really, yeah, really do. And always great. Yeah, always great talking with you on the stream. And I hope you enjoyed the sushi. Although some sushi places in the U.S. Get a little excessive. There's a lot of avocado and imitation crab meat in some American sushi. I think it's getting better though, because once it got popular, then I think people that really knew what they were doing started to make it, and it's not all Koreans doing Japanese sushi and stuff like that. But let me see. Yeah, I can't wait until all this travel stuff is over. It's been too long since I've been back to the U.S. All right. Oh yeah. What's the? I just had that word acutely. I don't think that's gonna work though. No. Let's not do that. They felt the difference. Being a box and packaging. Nice. And I'll make sure that I unblock. Oh, sorry, K5, you got a comment blocked. Damn, sorry about that. So a lot of assholes on the Facebook page. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that definitely has to be good for yeah, business. And also too, like Facebook helps you know if someone's local, so you know if you're going to be shipping to North America or not. Oh, that's cool. Yes, I'll unblock all those comments. Yeah, thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Nice. Oh, hey. Everybody's switching over to Twitch now. Hey, Joe. I mean, Tubby from SF Tubby. Yeah, always. Yeah, it's great to it's great talking with you guys and updating you on the health crisis and murder hornets on the other side of the world. But yeah, it's always good stuff. Yeah, what am I doing? Nice. Getting some Twitch views. Nice. All right. No, not. So it's a. So the difference. Oh yeah, maybe something about cardboard. Wondered if under. Okay, sensible cardboard. Sensible cardboard. Well, there we go. Nice. Let's see if we can break this a good spot. Hey, thanks for the follow, Joe. Nice. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so he wondered if under all that packaging, not all, under the colorful packaging, yeah, it's gonna be too long. I wondered if under the colorful packaging was still some sense there was, maybe. If under the colorful packaging was still some sensible cardboard. There was still. He wondered if under the colorful packaging there was still some sensible cardboard. Okay. I think that there was still. All right, well, let's switch and see if I can come up. Oh, yeah, this one's a bit easier. I think I had this already. Nice. Okay. Oh, now I'm not going to be able to find a good good way to say it. So the idea was, is it somebody's kid or espresso? So maybe they didn't know. Someone's. Oh, what's going on with this keyboard? Let's see. Damn. So it's here. Down here. There it is. Yep. English and Japanese keyboards again. Okay. They didn't know if it was someone's here again. I can't get this. Oh, wait, I can make this. I don't need this layer. Espresso. They didn't know if it was someone's kid or just espresso. Just espresso. It's gotta be a better. Oh, Last Child Services is good. Yes. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, lost child. That's great. That's great. Yeah, some bet it's much better than someone's kid. Lost child services. Nice. All right, or let's see. So we can cut that down a little bit. It's just espresso. Let's see. They didn't know if they should call. Couldn't tell. Yeah, lost child services is good. Damn. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's not too long. Let me see the kind of the. They didn't know they should call lost child services. I don't know. Let's see. Kids espresso. An espresso. They didn't know. Okay. So this was either a case for lost child services or just an espresso. So it was either a case for it was either a case for lost child services or just an espresso. Trying to. Oh, that's one line. It was either a space. It was either a case for lost child services or just an espresso. Yeah, that lost child services is perfect. Yikes, that's good. Thank you. I appreciate it, Plexus. That's brilliant. All right. Oh, sorry to hear that, Joe. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard, especially, yeah, after that long. Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks for the inspiration, Plexus. That's good. Good joke. Yeah, so trying to condense it a little bit. The box one, I think, is a little bit wordy too. But yeah, one line is good. Let's see if there's a way to. Yeah, I'd like still some sensible cardboard is pretty funny. I guess, yeah. I guess that's gonna have to do. It's not too bad. He wondered if. He needed to know. That's even longer. If under the colorful packaging, there was still some sensible cardboard. Ah. Yeah, I think that is gonna have to work. Nice. Wow. So still the case. Yeah. Good, good. So it was either a case for last child services or just an espresso. I think that works great. And okay. I think that'll do it. Wow, I'm glad I had a chance to do this. It was feeling like this wasn't. I was gonna actually have to miss a week completely, but yeah, this worked out. Yeah, and it's good to see everybody on stream, even on an off day. That's good that it worked out that you guys were around. You guys have no idea. I need to maybe come up with a multi-day schedule, and I wonder what another day would be good. So, yeah, this day usually isn't good for me because I have stuff in the morning on Saturdays. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be such a mess for still a month, still 2 months. Well, no, a month. Yeah, the beginning of July. So I've still got another month of just weird empty schedules, but also not, easy access to the office because I'm not there every day. So yeah, but next week I'm going to try again, and it's going to be weird because my drawing is going to completely change from being able to use that tablet again after using this little tiny thing. I mean, this is yeah, very strange and small, and it's way too it's not made for drawing, as much as it should be, so it's very strange. The line is okay, though. The sensitivity is enough for my line style that I can get kind of thick and thin. Yeah. But like last week, some of the line was really shaky. So, I don't know. Yeah, a bit better this week. Nice. Ah, yeah. Only 2 more weeks, Plexus. Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm glad that this timing worked. But yeah, it still blows me away. You were born in 2000. Damn. I've got kids older than you. Oh, that's so depressing. Oh man. Yeah, that's the crazy thing is there's like, as you get older, there's certain like situations that you don't want to be in anymore. Like you don't want to go to a club, or you don't want to go any place too young because then you're the oldest person there. So bars aren't so bad, but like there are places that you just don't want to go anymore when you're a certain age, because then it's just sad. And so I hope streaming doesn't become that. I haven't seen any older streamers, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I've seen a lot of older people on YouTube, but yeah, as far as streaming is a young man's game. That's funny. Cool. Nice. Let me double check the. Nice. Hey, Toshido Star, where are you coming from? I'm seeing you in. Where are you coming from? I'm seeing you in chat. Not seeing you. Maybe from YouTube. Yeah. YouTube. All right. Yeah. Thanks for thanks for stopping by. Nice. Oh yeah, that must be YouTube. Yeah, I'm not seeing you on the other chat. It's weird. It's supposed to be all of it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see you earlier. Yeah, weird. Nice. Yeah, but thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, so this is the thing that happens every week, and it's just been delayed this week. So yeah, so stuff will go out, but it'll get posted hopefully, yeah, before next week, and then we'll be back on schedule. Yeah, and I was all set too. When I went to the office, they had these weird like little frozen strawberries at the convenience store. I was all set to do another convenience store segment, and instead I just pulled apart my computer and ate frozen strawberries off camera. I guess I could have. Well, wait, no, that would have been the only. Yeah, that's the only machine there I can stream from, so I can't fix it. I guess my phone I could have done, like I could have done YouTube, like direct streaming, like story or whatever, to show you how fucked up everything was. But yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, I don't think that would have come off either. Yeah, that's true. I've only got one machine there without this tablet. It sucks to have to try to set up two offices, because I'm going to be bringing microphones and stuff back and forth. I think there's just no way. Yep, but another month. Nice. Yeah, so when things get back to normal, hopefully I can do a little bit more. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So yeah, we just had some. Yesterday they were talking about there's another little cluster of trouble in Kyushu, so kind of western, kind of far west southwestern area in Japan. So hopefully that's not going to pick up again, because everybody just kind of unlocked here. Schools are doing it more slowly, but the trains and everything are pretty full now of people. And there's on a Japanese train, there's no way to social distance. You're mostly shoulder to shoulder. On the empty trains, people are doing a good job of like staying away from each other. But on the regular crowded trains, rush hour, you're on top of each other as always. Yeah, I'm wondering. I wonder if they're going to try it again, because because now we know what it's like, and now we know how hard it is on people's livelihoods and stuff, and it'll be interesting to see if they're going to try to pull stay at home again after if things spike, or if they're just gonna let it happen. Oh, I just noticed, I think that was just from, I think that was just from filling. I should have this a little more. Try again. Get a weird wavy line. All right, there we go. And maybe this one too. Yeah, I like that little bit of contrast. It actually makes it helps the edge of the cup read more. Nice. Whoa. Oh, wow. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, because I don't think Twitch, is very political. I think maybe YouTube might tolerate a little bit more. That's why I saw all the footage of everything in Minnesota. It's crazy. Yeah, and that's the true too. That's the odd thing for multi-streaming, because I'm going onto Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and that's three different terms of service. So that's really frustrating, because YouTube's got their the little content ID running, and I'm sure Twitch has ways they shut things down that are totally it's totally different. So all the different what's going so I'm just going onto my wall on Facebook. They just started that recently. The restreaming just offered it to go on Facebook, and I've got, since I had the Facebook page, and I've got my Facebook is all a mess, because it's like other artists and things that I like or that I work with. We're linked on only Facebook, but then also through the fan page on Facebook for abuse cartoons. So yeah, so it goes to Facebook as well. So what a mess. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so what? I'm totally blanking on the. I just heard yesterday about the executive order. So Trump, I don't know if it's signed or if he's threatening to sign it, but the thing that will lift the platform protection. I forget what the protection is called, like 230 or something. It's got a name, but when I think it was the legislation that came about when Google successfully won some case, or I guess it was YouTube, won some case that they're a platform that designates them as a platform and not a publisher. So they're not, you can't directly sue them because they don't post anything. They're members or whatever are posting things, and they're not liable for that, but they do need to be able to take things down that violate copyright or hate speech or whatever. So they have their terms and they do that, but they're protected from direct lawsuits. And I saw somebody on YouTube was talking about Trump is threatening Twitter was threatening Twitter specifically. Oh shit! Burning of a police station live. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, because you can just live stream everything. I can't believe we don't just have like murder television live stream all the time, because everybody can point a camera at every horrible thing that they're seeing. But so I wonder what. Of course, they're not talking about it very much in Japan. Of course, I'm curious if that's going to have any impact, or if it's just a kind of a saber rattling thing to get Twitch to not campaign against him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's funny. This is going to be one messed up election year. Yeah. Maybe, oops, here too. Come on. There we go. So I'm just going to fuss with these little highlights. Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked for beheadings or anything. Some random stuff popped up. I remember when I first got on, or first set up the Reddit, the subreddit for the tabletop podcast. I was just looking around on Reddit, and I think on the very front page somebody had posted the video of, do you remember the two, I think they're Scandinavian, like Norwegian or Danish or something, girls that were in the Middle East backpacking that got like decapitated or whatever, but there was that video of of them being grabbed and somebody like starting to saw one of their heads off. Like, how is that on the front page of Reddit? Oh gee. Watch people die. Oh man, I can't believe that's you can post that. Yeah, but that was on the front, just the front page of Reddit, and because I was just curious what other subreddits were out there. Holy crap! Yeah. It's the whole year. I think is we're just gonna have to. Can we take a mulligan, whatever the a redo on this whole freaking year? Yeah. Yeah. That's really crazy. The if politicians, because that was always politicians need their easy cause, and if social media is going to become an easy target for politicians to attack, that'll be weird. Yeah, right. This is the Roaring 20s. Our Yeah, but what this was what this was we were already what prohibition and yeah in the other in the previous previous century we're already dealing with some miserable stuff. Mm. Oh. Yeah, I can imagine what r/watch people die could definitely be deleted. Yeah, that was one thing that when that started happening on the internet, like all the kind of snuff video, it's like yeah, you can't unsee that stuff, so it's probably best just to not watch it. Ugh. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and there was for a while there, yeah, some pod or some channel I was watching, they were trying to watch the gauntlet. So there was like I forget how many, it was like 10 or 12 videos of like increasingly horrible stuff from the internet, starting with like paper cuts or broken bones from arm wrestling and stuff. But it just got gradually worse and worse and worse. And I think I was only listening to the audio of it, so I didn't have to endure in the actual video, but it sounded pretty rough. And I think they got to like a baby being hit by a train before they like all tapped out. All right. Yeah, this is just a messed up start to the 20s. And it's funny because it didn't feel like the 21st century started for so long. Like all this 2000s and the teens were just like, yeah, okay, it's kind of feeling really similar now. Yeah, now we're in the 20s. Now we're actually in a decade where people are going to say, what were the 2020s like? And this is the start of it. It's so funny too, because this was the at the end of 2019. I was like, okay, next year I'm really going to get things together and get back to the States and do as much as possible. And it's been the first months of the year locked up at home. It just depressed out of my mind. So I literally, with all this free time, have done nothing to, accomplish anything. And I've heard so many like kind of creative people, like writing people and artists and stuff, are saying the same thing. It's just like they are not productive at all because, especially with creative work, it's kind of like you have to have a goal. Like you want to be communicating or getting something out there, and you don't even know if there is an out there left. If there's even any point to doing this. The priorities feel very strange. 50/50 challenge. Oh no. Oh no. I have no idea what that is. I can Google it though. Oh man. Yeah, I'm really for gore on I mean, I love fake, I like simulated gore, like all the effects movies and stuff when they do like practical effects and do zombies and stuff. I love that stuff. But when it's like real and it's real, that it just that's rough because it doesn't even. The funny thing is, like, real death and real gore doesn't even look good. It's not very photogenic. It's not even very camera ready. So yeah, it's always extra shocking because of how like unspectacular it looks. Nice. Oh, nice. So the first, I heard they were doing that, and then the first attempt failed. That's crazy, and it's crazy that NASA was basically, or American astronauts were taking Russian rockets to the International Space Station. That's so depressing. Oh man. But all right, well, I think I have done all the damage I can do this week, and I can't guarantee it, but I'm really, really hoping that things are looking and feeling a little bit back to normal next week with the PC back at the office all set up. Oh, I see the weather. Okay, the weather scrubbed it. Okay, that's good. I'm glad it wasn't a fail, like a mechanical failure or anything. Yeah, that's right. They were saying because it's Florida. Yeah, the weather is not. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I'll have to watch that too. Damn. Yeah, I really hope that's very strange if it ends up being like private companies that are, you know, all funding the next, because that's going to be the beginning of, oh, I can't even imagine. Like, I can't imagine like moon colonies or whatever that are completely privately owned. That's crazy. Insane. Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. Nice. All right. Well, everybody take care. Oh no. Damn. Yeah, I can't believe that landing, the vertical landing rocket that they're doing. That seems like it's got to be the most difficult. It must not be, but it seems to be the most difficult thing to do. Oh yeah, yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, because if I've got OBS running, let me take a look and see what I can find. Oh, whoop! Sorry, wrong thing here. Too many keyboards. Oh, I should do another. Oh. Nice. Wow. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Let's see. Wow. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the. I'm on YouTube looking at the SpaceX channel. Do they do? Yeah, are they live streaming? Wow. Wow. Oh, Texas. Oh, well. Oh. Nice. So the space. Oh, space official, SpaceX official on YouTube. Yeah, I found the SpaceX channel. Yeah, everything. There isn't anything live. Oh, the landings though. Wow, they got a lot of video. Oh, cool. Oh, sweet. Nice. Yeah, I'll take a look. Oh, yeah, I should probably jump off the stream and see what's going on. Plus, I got to get these uploaded, so I don't have the direct FTP on here, so I have to move them over, the cartoons. But yeah, that's cool. I hope there's another. Yeah, I'll do a search and see what's going on YouTube as far as live streams. That's really cool. Oh, wow, 12 hours. Okay. Nice. Yeah, their website's pretty cool. The SpaceX website. I hadn't seen that before, but yeah, they have a lot of nice details about their the launch process and everything. They show the whole set of steps before docking and everything. Yeah, that's crazy. No, I saw they have them. They have them on on their YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. But yeah, I think I've seen one of the I've seen footage just like from a news report or whatever on the vertical landings before. But yeah, I'll take a look. That's very cool. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look for that. Plexus. Yeah, that's very cool. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here on this off day, and I'll be back in just a few days with hopefully a more regular stream. And thanks again, Joe, for the donation. That's much appreciated. And yeah, we'll get back to normal as soon as we can. Yeah, so take care, everybody. Yeah, take it easy, Plexus and Joe and K5, everybody and anybody new that showed up. I appreciate you checking out this stream. So yeah, as always, really fun to hang out with you guys, and yeah, always a great chat. So I will be back. So the website, if you're seeing this for the first time, the website is abusecartoons.com, and Twitter is abusecartoons. If you want to read the archive of this cartoon that I draw, it's gocomics.com/domesticabuse. And if you want to support the cartoon, there's of course the donation link for Streamlabs, but also you can go to patreon.com/abusecartoons. So I will be back again next week, and thanks as always for a great chat. And you guys are always fun to hang out with, and great inspiration. The Lost Child Services saved my ass on that cartoon. So take care, everyone, and I will be back again next week. Goodbye.